That's right. That's right. It is Thursday, April 2nd. We are back with Virtual Math live from the man cave. Alexa, stop. Thank you very much. There we go. So if you are watching this video, you have completed Monday, you have completed Tuesday, you have completed Wednesday, and really yesterday, I like to tell my kids that's kind of like no excuse Wednesday. By the time Wednesday comes and goes, you should be at least a 3. You've now had, well, you had 2 chances to do it previously. Total, you've had 3 chances to do these questions. So we would like you to be at least a 3. Now, you might not be there. You still got a couple days to get that number up. If you are there or beyond, keep it up. Good job. And again, hopefully these videos are helping if you need it. So we're going to dive straight in here. We're going to get right into number 1. And number 1 says, Target just stocked their shelves with 6,000 rolls of toilet paper. They sold 3,283 rolls in the first hour and 1,342 rolls in the second hour. How many rolls of toilet paper do they have left? So there you've got your keyword that tells you to subtract. But again, if you're using some logic, when you're selling something, you know you're getting rid of it. Your supply is getting smaller. So I honestly don't remember which ways I've shown you the past couple of days. You could add those 2 numbers together, then subtract. You can subtract them one at a time. But I think I'm just going to start with, let me take what I sold and get a total amount that I've gotten rid of. So we got 3,283 plus that 1,342. If I add those together in the ones place, 3 plus 2 is going to give me 5. Tens place, 8 plus 4 will give me 12. 2 stays, 1 goes. Hundreds place, 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 more is 6. Comma down, 3 plus 1 is 4. Now 4,625 is not my answer. That just shows me how much I've sold. So if I started with 6,000 and I sold 4,625, how much am I left with? So again, starting the ones place, 0 minus 5, you can't do it. If you've got more on the floor, you got to go next door, you got to get 10 more. Knock, knock, nobody's home. When nobody's next door, you got to go to the end of the block and box off the rest of that number. So I went from having 0 tens to now having 600 tens, and I still only need 1. So if I take 1 away from 600, that's going to change to 599. It's kind of tight right there. And then that 110 that I took, I'll add it to this 0, and now it's smooth sailing, as long as you don't make a silly mistake. So in the ones place, 10 minus 5, that's going to give me 5. 9 minus 2, that's going to give me 7. 9 minus 6 is going to give me 3. Comma down, 5 minus 4 gives me 1. That gives me the answer 1,375, which would have given you D. And again, once you do the math, you can take that number and use addition to check it. I think the biggest place that you would probably make a mistake there is subtracting across those zeros. And you don't have to use that box method. You can borrow from the very end. It's basically the same thing. It just looks a little bit different. But hopefully by today, because today is Thursday, this will be your 4th time doing it. Hopefully by today you're getting that question correct. All right, moving on to number 2. It says 83 people decided to watch their favorite shows on Netflix while they are stuck inside. If they each watch 19 hours worth of Netflix, how many hours did they spend watching in all? Again, 83 different people. This person spent 19 hours. This person spent 19 hours. That person spent 19 hours. Again, you could use repeated addition, but the more logical thing to do would be to multiply. And when you see that word each, that leads you to one of 2 operations. But if you look at the answer choices getting bigger, it makes a lot more sense for us to do multiplication instead of division. So Clear this out. We're going to go 83 times 19. Stack them up. Starting in the ones place, we're going to go 9 times 3. That's 27. 7 stays, 2 goes. Then we're going to go across. 9 times 8 is 72. Plus 2 more is 74. Okay, once I've multiplied by the ones place, I can get rid of that number. Now I can multiply by my tens place. But when I come down, I got to add a 0. I got to put that placeholder. So, and again, you can put an X there. You can leave it blank. You might have seen it a different way. But now I'll do 1 times 3 and get 3. I'll go 1 times 8 and get 8. Once I get here, all I've got to do is add. In my ones place, I get 7. Tens place, I get 7. Hundreds place, I get 15. That would give me the answer 1,577, which would be A. So again, you don't have to stack them. You can do your area model. You can do your box. A couple different ways to do that. Let's try not to do repeated addition on that one. All right, looking at number 3. This one right here is going to tell me everything I need to know. Like when I look at the data for this question, I'm going to know who read this question and who checked it with that multiplication like I've been showing you. So Benjamin has 267 hot dogs for his 4th of July cookout. If they sell buns in packs of 8, how many packs will he need to buy to make sure he has enough buns for all his hot dogs? Guys, this is different. Okay, in the past 2 days, it's been talking about what's full. Okay, I just need to make sure I've got enough buns for all my hot dogs. So I need to have at least 267 hot dog buns. Otherwise, I can't answer this question correctly. So again, when you see packs of, a lot of the times that might make you think you need to multiply. Logically, that wouldn't make sense. One, because your answer choices are getting smaller, but also you don't need over 1,600 buns for 267 hot dogs. That'd be a waste of money. So equal groups of 8, we're going to divide. If I can get my whiteboard back up here. All right, so we'll take 267, split it by 8. Dangerous monkeys swipe bananas. Move this a little bit closer to me. All right, we know that 8 cannot go into 2, but it can go into 26 3 times. Just pretend that looks like a 3. Then we're going to multiply 8 times 3. We'll get 24. And then we'll subtract those two numbers, and ultimately 26 minus 24 would give me 2. I'd bring down my next number, which is a 7, and I would start all over. Going back to the top, we got to divide. 8 goes into 27 3 times. If I multiply 8 times that 3, I get 24 once again. And if I subtract, that leaves me with 3 with nothing left to bring down, which means I'm finished. So you're never going to go into Food Lion and say, hey, I need 33 remainder 3 packs of hot dog buns, because it's not possible. They're going to look at you like you're out of your mind. So there's only 3 possible answer choices. You could use the remainder and say that the answer is 3 packs of hot dog buns. You could ignore the remainder and say the answer is 33 packs, or you could push up and say, let me get 34 packs. Check your work. So if I get 3 packs with 8 buns, that's going to give me 24 buns. 24 buns is clearly not going to be enough for 267 hot dogs. And remember, the question's asking how many do I need for all of them? So 3's got to go. All right, that leaves us with either 33 packs or 34 packs. So we'll start with the 33. If I buy 33 packs with 8 in each, that's going to be 264 buns, which cannot be the answer because I have 267 hot dogs. And again, that question says enough buns for all of his hot dogs. So I could go ahead and check the 34. Oops. And even though this is going to give me more than I need, you would rather have buns left over than not having enough buns. So yes, you would have extra there, but to answer the question and have enough buns for all of the hot dogs, it would have to be 34 packs, or 34 packs of buns, which would be C. So a math question, just as much a reading question. If you solve that one the same way you have the past couple of days, you probably missed it because you didn't read it. Guys, the words are going to change a little bit. They're not going to be the exact same questions every single day. So I'm interested to see how you did on, I think that was 3, on number 3. All right, number 4. This one, to me, I think we should be getting this one across the board. It says, which choice below is a multiple of 3 and a factor of 48? Again, you can break this question in half. Just start with the multiples and only go to the highest number. So I need to list multiples of 3, but I only need to get up to about 18, as close to I can, or exactly to 18 if I can. And if I know my facts, my multiples would start with 3. They'd go to 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't, because if you look at your answer choices, every single one of those answer choices is a multiple of 3. So that part doesn't really matter. Now we're just looking at a factor of 48, meaning I can do something times this number to get 48. So if I look at my whiteboard, I'll kind of narrow it down because I think the answer, what were the answer choices here? 15, 18, 9, and 3, I think. Let me double check that so I'm not wasting our time. 3, 9, 15, 18, good. All right, so I can go ahead and scratch 6 and 12, they don't matter. So you can either list your multiples or just know your facts. Like with 18, I wouldn't expect you to know how to multiply 18 by certain numbers off the top of your head. So if you wanted to list multiples, you could do that. 18 times 1 is going to give you 18. Figure out 18 times 2, you could do 18 plus 18, or you could stack them and multiply them, but that's going to give you 36. 18 times 3 is just going to be 18 more than that, which really you could look at that number and know that you're not going to land on 48. But if you wanted to stack 36 and add 18 to that, you're going to get 54, I think. Oops. And again, we're trying to get to 48. That goes beyond. So I can scratch out 18. Now, it's a little bit easier to list the multiples of the other ones, even though you're not really expected to be able to multiply by 15 either. 15 times 1 will give you 15. After that comes 30. After that comes 45, which gets you pretty close. But then obviously if you add 15 to that, you're going to go beyond 48. So 15 times nothing is going to give you the number that we're looking for. All right, that leaves us with 3 and 9. 9 is the number we should be able to go boom, 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 list all those multiples. You go 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, kind of similar to the last one. If I add 9 more to that, it's going to get me to 54. I've gone beyond what I need to. Last but not least, now you might not know something off the top of your head, 3 times whatever to get to 48. You could list the multiples. But guys, you might have learned this trick last year, but you've definitely talked about it this year. Look at the numbers 4 and 8. Anytime you can take a number and add its digits together, 4 plus 8, that would give me 12. If this number right here is divisible by 3, this number would be divisible by 3. So if I give you any number, like if I gave you 520, what's that, 7? If I gave you 525 and I said, is that number divisible by 3? You could do 5 plus 2 plus 5 and you would get 12. If 12 is divisible by 3, 525 is divisible by 3. So with 48, you could have done it that way with that trick, or you could have just taken 48 and seen if you can divide it by 3, which if you follow this process out, it goes in 16 times. So that trick, it makes it a lot easier. The long division is not hard because you know how to do it. Listing 16 multiples of 3, though, that would probably be the longest for that one. So it's good to eliminate answers. It's also good to know multiple ways to be able to solve it. But if that answer was 3, that means the answer here would have been A as well. So break that one up if you can. Sometimes it'll help you. Sometimes it won't. My favorite question on here, and I think it's my favorite just because it, to me, requires you to do some work, which some people are allergic to, but we're trying to get 6,913. Take your answer choices and do exactly what it says you've got, right? So A says, I've got 6,913 tens. Close, but close is not good enough, so A would get eliminated. B says 4,000s, 2,900s, 110, and 3 ones. I'm going to do my number over here. If I add those together, B gives me exactly what I'm looking for, which is your answer, but you should check C and D anyways, just in case you made a mistake. C says 5,000s, 1,900s, 10 tens, and 3 ones. Again, gets you kind of close, but not good enough. Last but not least, you've got 6,000s, you've got 800s, you've got 110, 3 ones. This one will also get you close, but comes up a little bit short. So even though we had the answer with B, you're going to check the rest of them anyways, just in case you made a mistake. And that would be your answer for 5. So we have now gone over days 1, 2, and 3, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You are about to go complete day number 4, Thursday. And then day 5 is going to be your quiz. So what's going to happen is I'm only going to have one more video. I'll have one more video going over Thursday's questions, and you'll be able to watch that before you do your quiz on Friday. And Friday's the only day that counts. So you know the drill, guys. If you need to rewatch some of these videos, go for it. They're not available until after you do the questions, obviously, because we don't want to give you the answers. But this is a resource to help you if you need it. If this is not something you need and you're getting all 5 of these right, honestly, that's awesome. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you're not watching them, especially if you don't need it. If you've been working hard, taking notes all year, paying attention to your teachers, you're probably knocking these out. So that's a good thing. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Best of luck on your Thursday Fan 5. Read those questions carefully. We'll see you tomorrow.